Coming up on this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show, I'm going to be sharing the first construction images from Eurosat 2.0 at Europa Park. Along with that, I'm going to be talking about the strong rumours about a Tower of Terror retheme at Disneyland Paris. And moving on from that, I'm going to also be sharing some exciting news from Hyde Park Winter Wonderland. All that and more here on Theme Park Worldwide, the show. That means it's time to cue those titles. Hello and welcome to this week's episode. Lots of new videos have gone online on the channel over the past week, including an icon construction update from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Lots of work has been taking place over the past few weeks, and in that video I catch up on everything that's happened with the station building, more groundwork and the substation for the ride as well, so make sure you check that one out. The other new ride opening next year is of course Secret Weapon 8 at Alton Towers. Literally just uploaded a brand new construction update from there. Lots going on the site, including the station building, lots of track work and some interesting things with the large theming structure as well. That's just gone online, so make sure you check that out here on the channel. We've also uploaded a couple of other vlogs. Nottingham Goose Fair. Me and Alex had a great time when we went down there last week for the first night. It's one of the biggest fairs in the UK calendar. We went down there, did quite a few rides and done a really good vlog from there actually. It was a shame about the weather. It did start to rain later on. We did quite a few flat rides, fun houses. Yeah, it was just a really enjoyable night from the Goose Fair. It's always a laugh when we go somewhere like that. So make sure you check out the video. We've also uploaded an Alton Towers Scarefest vlog from the opening day last Saturday. We had a brilliant time and I'll talk more about that and what other Halloween we've got to come this year later on in our Screen Park Worldwide segment. Quite a bit of news to talk about this week, so it's time for News Off the Rails. Now last month, Europa Park over in Germany announced that they were going to completely overhaul Eurosat, one of their indoor roller coasters for the 2018 season. One of the most popular rides at the park. It's a really good coaster and it features a spiral lift hill, various drops and near misses inside, and it's got a very classic feel to it, located in the French themed section of the park. This refurbishment, I wasn't expecting anything to really come of it until this winter. I thought all the work would take place then. However, Joe, who's currently working out at Europa Park, he's been in quite a few of our videos here over the years, good friend of mine, has actually sent me these images from construction that's actually started over the last couple of days in the French themed area at Europa Park. So here we go. As you can see from this image, green construction walls have gone up around one side of Eurosat. It's round to the right hand side of where the queue line is, just next to the shop, which you can just see in the background there as well. This next image here, you can see foundation work has begun on the buildings that will sit in front of the current structure. So obviously you've got the main structure and then you're going to have all these buildings in front of it, which we assume is going to have like a themed queue line through it. At the moment, it's got a big cattle pen queue line outside, and as much as I love the classic feel of it, I am looking forward to seeing what they do with this. I mean, you look at what they've done building wise over the past few years. Island really springs to mind, Voletarium, both of those are really nice themed structures, both inside the buildings and outside. But with this one, I can't wait just to stand on the bridge in the French area, look towards Eurosat and see how this looks once it's complete. But yes, this is all going ahead for 2018. It's going to be open next year. We can assume it's going to be from the start of the year with this one. And yeah, I just really hope that with this, it's got a really nice classic feel to it still. There is going to be VR on the ride, but it is going to be optional. So we can assume it's going to have a separate queue line, but we also know it's going to have a separate station building as well. So maybe we'll have two queue lines that go through them buildings, and then they'll split off and you'll go into one station with VR and one station without VR. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it works. Obviously there's only one coaster track. So yeah, it's just going to be great to see how they implement the VR. I'm not normally a big fan of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this. And the fact that they're going to add theming and things inside as well, for people who don't want to wear the VR, is great. It means it's future-proof as well, because let's be honest, in my opinion, I think VR is a bit of a gimmick. I don't think it's going to last more than a few years, and it's definitely not really going to expand more, in my opinion. So with this one, at least it can just be removed if they want to in the future. But yeah, that's Eurosat 2.0 opening next year at Europa Park, and I'll keep you up to date with all the latest construction and news as we get it. Moving on to another potential retheme, and I must stress, this is just a very strong rumour at the moment. It's been rumoured for a while, however now some of the biggest Disneyland Paris sources have said that the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is up for the transition into Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which opened this year at Disney California Adventure. It replaced their version of Tower of Terror, which opened in 2004. It was the second version of the ride to be built, and of course in California. With Tower of Terror at Disneyland Paris, it opened in the secondary park, Walt Disney Studios, in 2007. It was December when it opened. I actually went the month when that ride opened, and I absolutely loved it. I couldn't believe that we had it at Disneyland Paris, and seeing that, and bear in mind I hadn't done any of the other versions around the world, even Florida at this point. It was great to ride Tower of Terror after hearing so much about it, and just thinking that's 10 years ago, crazy. But yeah, preliminary work is going to start with this from March 2018, with a full closure in September 2018, with it opening in March 2019. Again, I'll stress it's a rumour at the moment, but this source and all the sources that are reporting it have always been right with their news, or 99% of the time have been right with what they've reported. There's a lot of Disney cast members and things what tend to work for these sources, meaning that stuff always gets leaked like it does at all these parks. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Me personally, I think Walt Disney Studios has a few other issues what need ironing out first. I mean, they've just about made it a full day park. You've had Ratatouille in there, it was opened a few years ago. A few other things like Toy Story Land, obviously Tower of Terror was put in, the little Cars flat ride what they've got, Crush's Coaster, they're all newer things what have been put into Walt Disney Studios. But there's some of the older stuff there what really needs some work, like the Studio Tram Tour. What's going on with that? Armageddon, again, in my opinion, it's a bit of a waste of space. I mean, the end of it's great, but everything else building up to it, something else could be going in there. But yeah, let's just see what happens. There's rumours that of all this Marvel coming into there as well. I don't mind them doing that, but I just think that with Tower of Terror, that's the main attraction in that park. It's a signature attraction. Why change it? I know it's gone down well, and Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't look anywhere near as bad as we were expecting if you've seen a POV of it over at California Adventure. But I'm just a bit disappointed that that is being done first before sorting out the other issues inside Walt Disney Studios. But comment down below. I'm really interested to see what you think. Me and Charlotte will be at Disneyland Paris in just over a month's time. We'll be there for 5 days of updates and vlogs. So check it out. It's been 2.5 years since I went to Disneyland Paris. Crazy. As I can't wait to get back. It'll be Charlotte's second time going, and we'll check out all the latest what's going on over there with the Christmas events and any other construction. Final bit of news I'm going to talk about then in News Off the Rails before we move on to Halloween, and that is from Hyde Park Winter Wonderland that have now confirmed that the Munich looping, the Olympia looping, will be returning for the 2017 event. So it's a 1989 Schwarzkopf looping coaster that is in fact the world's largest travelling roller coaster. It comes on over 50 trucks. It's crazy, and the fact that it's coming over from Germany yet again to appear in London, brilliant news. I mean, it appeared last year, we all went down there and thought, God, I hope it comes back next year, but we didn't know if it would, with it being such a big install and a big thing to bring over to the UK. It must have paid off for them last year. They were running it on loads of trains, and yeah, it's coming baback. Of course, we are holding our Theme Park Worldwide Christmas event this year at Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, so head over to the Facebook page for all the details on that, and you can also confirm your attendance just there. But yeah, we're going to be riding that yet again this year, and I cannot wait. It's going to be great to ride it with a lot of you guys, the fans of the channel as well. So yeah, bring it on. It's now time for our Screen Park Worldwide segments. Now, Halloween is underway at various different theme parks and screen parks throughout the UK, and so far we've visited 2 different events. On Saturday we was at Alton Towers Scarefest, and Sunday Thorpe Park Fright Nights. As I mentioned earlier on, the Scarefest vlog is now online, so check it out, and the Fright Nights vlog will be online in a couple of days' time, just before the weekend, so make sure you watch that one when it goes on. But yes, both of them really good events that we enjoyed. Fantastic atmosphere at both of them. In my opinion, Thorpe Park Fright Nights steals it this year. mainly due to the attractions, which felt a little bit more scarce, a bit more quality than what you get at Alton Towers this year. The new maze, the Welcome at Alton Towers, it was really good. I'm not going to put spoilers in the show. There is spoilers in both of the vlogs. We had the Welcoming, gave us a really good insight of what to expect from the theme of Secret Weapon 8. There was quite a few different set pieces in there and special effects that will relate to the new ride, and overall it was enjoyable. There wasn't loads of scares in there, but as a walkthrough experience with plenty of actors, it was really, really good to experience, and I can't wait to do it again at some point over Scarefest. For an in-depth review with spoilers, like I say, check out the vlog. In terms of the rest of the event, the other mazes were good, not outstanding this year in my opinion, but they were good. A few new changes inside Subspecies and also Altonville Mine Tours, the Legend of the Skin Snatchers. Terror Towers was running great. House of Monsters, a couple of changes in there in one of the scenes, which was nice. And also the Freak Show Scare Zone, which is brilliant this year. In my opinion, the best scare zone they've ever done. Feels very universal, very Halloween Horror Nights. With Fright Nights then, brilliant event this year. Platform 15's really improved. As you'll see from the vlog, we really enjoyed that with some new scenes and some big scares in there. Along with that, the Big Top, that was really good this year. I enjoyed it last year, but this year they've upped it again. Some new elements in there, some new bits of theming, and that soundtrack that they've got in there is brilliant. It's so bouncy as you go around, really enjoyable. In terms of the Walking Dead mazes, Sanctum was not very good at all. You'll see from the vlog, it was awful in my opinion. Better at night than in the daytime, but still very, very, very low quality in my opinion. The other maze from The Walking Dead, Living Nightmare, that was really good. That was in the building where Cabin in the Woods was. And yeah, some really good scares in there. Beautiful set design. And yet again, for spoilers and a full review, check out the vlog. That'll be online probably Friday night. Look out for that one here on our channel. Another note about videos whilst I'm on it. I know I've not done Planet Coaster in over a month, but it is coming. I've got so much going on, both with the channel, at work, and something else, another little hobby, what I've been working on at the moment as well, which you will see on the channel. It is kind of theme park attraction related, so you'll get to see that in a couple of weeks time when I announce that too, and I'm sure you guys are going to really enjoy seeing that once it's finished. But yeah, Halloween in general has been a good start over the weekend. Scarefest vlog's now on, Friday nights to come, and what have we got coming up this week? 2 more events that we're going to be visiting. Firstly, we're going to be going to Burton Screamfest. We've gone there for the past 5 or so years and enjoyed the event. It's got some good stuff there, so we're back there on Thursday night this week, and on Friday we're going to be visiting Extreme Scream Park in Melton Mowbray at Twin Lakes, which in my opinion is one of the best Halloween events going. Last year I loved it. This year I can't wait to go back and see the 2 new mazes, what they've got there. You got Hoodoo Voodoo and The Village, so we'll have full reviews from them events coming up in the next few weeks here on the channel. Following on from that, we've got Tully's coming up. We've got all sorts, Farmageddon, Return to Scarefest, and so much more. So stay tuned here on Scream Park Worldwide. So welcome to Name That Coaster. This one was actually really interesting because there's only a couple of people who got this one right down in the comments on last week's video. A lot of people thought that it was a different wooden roller coaster to what it was. It's actually the Antelope at Gulliver's World. So there you go. A lot of people are going to be surprised by that. A few people thought that it was Stampeder at Portaventura or one of the wooden coasters at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Most people guessed that it was a wooden roller coaster. You could tell by the noise of the chain. But yeah, a very, very interesting one that it was, like I say, the Antelope at Gulliver's World. So there we go, it's time for another one this week. A little bit of a haunted theme with this ride, with us coming closer and closer to Halloween. So here we go, it's time for this week's Name That Coaster. Stop the audio clip. Remember, this section of the show is just for fun. All you need to do is comment down below here on this week's episode of the show. I might give you a few hints and tips along the way, and I'll be back next Wednesday with another episode where I'll reveal what that roller coaster was. It's now time for a very special Perch Paradise. Throughout the 2017 season, Alton Towers have of course been building their brand new wooden roller coaster, and I've been there every few days getting photos for our social media channels. Every week or so I've done a brand new construction update video, and we really have watched this ride grow, right from when it was groundwork at the start of the year to where it is now with this massive structure with a station, theming, all the works. It looks fantastic. On Saturday, Alton Towers released 25 limited edition pieces of wood here, which are actually offcuts from the construction. So obviously, as they've been putting in the actual track, they've cut these little bits off whilst they've been building it. And here we go, they've made these commemorative pieces, which I think are really nice. And obviously you've got SW8 on the top there, sort of engraved into it. This little bit here, and this down the bottom as well. To be honest, I think this was a really nice thing what the park did. It got a bit controversial on social media, whether Alton Towers should be selling bits of wood that weren't actually part of the ride, so to speak. Yes, they were used during the construction in terms of offcuts, but they've not actually been on the ride and then taken off after a couple of years, if you know what I mean. But me personally, it's not about that. It's more for a commemorative piece. I just think this is a really nice thing to have, and just to look at it and have this on display at the World of Theme Parks, especially with being so connected to that ride and watching it being built throughout the year. I just thought it was a really nice thing to do, and the fact there's only 25 of those is a nice thing to have, and it's made it smell really nice at the World of Theme Parks here as well. It smells like a wooden roller coaster, so I thought I'm having that along with some of the other bits that I've got. Obviously, Plopsaland over in Belgium, they did the same with their GCI wooden roller coaster. This is from one of the supports on Heidi the Ride. Woden, they did it with their GCI wooden roller coaster. It's just a thing with GCIs, isn't it, really? So I've got all these different bits of wood. I've got a Woden piece over there, some from all the wooden roller coasters at Blackpool, which obviously with Blackpool, it was actually from an operating coaster, which was even better, really. But yeah, I just thought it was a really nice commemorative piece to have here at the World of Theme Parks. A lot of people might be wondering, can you still get them now? You can't at the moment, but hopefully when the ride name gets announced and all the branding, they might do another one, maybe even with some of the support sections on there as well. Really nice bit of merchandise there from Sequel Weapon 8 at Alton Towers. So it's come to the final section of this week's episode of the show, which is of course TPW Showcase. So here we go then, let's have a look at what you guys have sent in for us this week. Firstly, we've got Jacob who had a photo here with Harry at Alton Towers. So thank you very much for sending that one in. Then got Laura who had a photo there with me. It was really nice to meet you. Next up we've got Daniel who's on Dragon Falls. So thanks for sharing that one with us, Daniel. Next up we've got Annie at Fright Nights. So thanks for sharing that one. Then they've got Wes who had a photo on the Spook Express, so thank you very much for sending that one in to us. Next up you got David with a lightning rod on-ride photo. Love to get on that at some point in the future. We then got Finley with a Nemesis on-ride photo. Thanks for sharing that one there, Finley. We then got Andrew with an Abyss on-ride photo, so thanks for sending that one in. We then got Coaster Crazer who had a photo there with me, so thanks for sending that one in. Next up, William with a photo outside the Smiler at Alton Towers. Thanks there, William. Then got Jamie with an Epcot 35 badge. Epcot did celebrate its 35th birthday last week. A very big celebration that I'd love to have been there for, and thank you very much for sending that one in to us. We then got Isaac with a Smiler on-ride photo. Thank you very much for sending that one in there, Isaac. We then got Keith and Dylan who had a photo there with me. Great to meet you. Next up we've got Chris and family who had a photo with myself and Alex Crump, so thanks for sending that one in. We then got Angela and family who had a photo with myself, Charlotte, Martin and Alex, so thanks for sending that one in. Lovely to meet you all. We then got Ryan who had a photo there with me. Great to meet you, Ryan. Next up we've got Amy who had a photo with Martin, Dylan, Billy and Farah, all on Hero there at Flamingo Land, so thank you very much for sending that one. Next up then we've got all the different birthdays this week. A big happy birthday to Nathan, Michael, you then got Kenneth, Gail and Brooke and also Adam as well. Thank you very much for sending in all your photos and birthday shout outs for this week's episode of the show. If you've got any photos you want to send in, whether it's off-ride, on-ride, merchandise pictures, get them sent in for next week's episode of the show via private message on Instagram and also on Facebook. Same again if you've got any birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, keep them coming in. I'll quite happily shout them out for you next Wednesday. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of the show. Lots of new videos to come this week, including Thought Park Park Fright Nights. Finally, an episode of Planet Coaster. Yes, I know a lot of people have been thinking, where is it? I've got a Halloween special coming up this week, so stay tuned. I promise it is coming this week, Planet Coaster. Along with that, lots more updates on the rides as well, and so much more. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke. This was Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys. Have a great week.
We'll be right back.